The World Health Organization announcing the global emergency to allow high-risk countries to prepare for an outbreak.
This declaration is not because China cannot manage the outbreak. In fact, the measure China have taken is good, not only for the country in China, but also for the rest of the world. The declaration is a reminder the country who has a weak capacity to prepare the possible import of cases, even further community transmission in that country. It's a big reminder. All the country we should prepare.
The declaration will now allow countries to have a unified approach to contain the virus. Today, 213 people have died in China and over 9,000 people affected worldwide.
WHO to give a unified advice for each member state of the WHO to take a uniform action. They will allow WHO, for instance, deploy staff to the country who have an emergency very quickly.
Meanwhile, the National Department of Health will be making a submission to NEC for funding to increase quarantine measures at Jackson's International Airport and seaports.
Is that it's basically a step up for us and testing our settings and enabling that they are all on track and we fine-tune it and make it better as we go along. And so that's the way what it means in terms of this emergency call. So the call is for all countries and PNG is basically stepping up.
So far, 4,000 passengers have been screened at surrounding countries like Singapore, Manila and Malaysia confirmed cases, while Australia now has 9 cases.
Specific airports in terms of the visas, in terms of medical certificates, so that they can be screened and allowed to come through that process. And also, yesterday in that conference, we alluded to the point that each one of those airlines where the passengers are coming from, they are also required to fill in the forms so that we can be able to clearly articulate who is a suspect or whom we should follow through and all of that. And that process is already there. Those processes are already there and they're effective already.
But one thing has changed, and that's the temporary suspension on the online visa and visa on arrival. It has been lifted as WHO recommended countries not to put in a travel ban as it may restrict efforts to contain an outbreak.
So they suggested that the evidence has shown the restriction of movement of people and goods during the public health emergency may be inefficient and may divert resources from intervention. Further, the restriction may interrupt the need to aid and technical support and may disrupt the business and may have a negative effect to the economy, the country affected by the emergency.
The public have been advised to call the hotline number if they have symptoms of cold and flu and have been to China in the last 14 days. Adelaide Sirkskari, National MTV News.